Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hot Girls and Hockey podcast. My name is Sarah. If you're new here, this is the show where we talk about all things hockey, the what to knows, the who to knows, and everything in between. And today is going to be another short episode, just like my last Hockey and Chill, because a girl's just got to yap, and yap without putting hours of research into something to yap about. Yeah, a lot of you guys just wanted to do like a Hockey and Chill episode where I kind of just talked and it felt like we were at a little sleepover and you're asking me for updates on the cup. And yeah, so not too much I need to go into before the episode. I don't think there's anything that I needed to address or bring up. Nope. All right, so nice and quick and easy. Let's just get into it. I do have my non-branded black cherry hard seltzer in the Sharks cup. It is back. Last time it was in a wine little thermos thingy because I wanted to be classy for my episode on the Kachucks. But yeah, so let's go ahead and grab a little drink, a little snack, whatever you want to do, and cheers. Man, I hadn't bought these in such a long time. I forgot how good they are. My parents came up to visit, so they bought a case for me. It's just like I think it's like a 12 pack. But I forgot just how dang good they are. They're so refreshing, man. Okay, so what to talk about? Let's talk about the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh my gosh, we had game 4 yesterday. The day that I'm filming this today is June 13th, and so yesterday was June 12th, and it was game 4, and it was I would argue and say like the best of the games so far for the finals. Close contender is game 2 where we had the double OT. I used to think it was game 2. It might have been game 3. Editing Sarah, put it up here. They all kind of blend in with me. I just know like who won. I know it's 2-2 right now. It's 2 Panthers and 2 Oilers. And I'll be honest with you, and don't tell anyone I said this as I'm uploading this to everybody. I was rooting for the Oilers last night only because I wanted there to be a guaranteed game 6, which there will be. So slay. We love that. Game 5 was inevitable, but game 6 was kind of like maybe they will, maybe they won't. If Florida won, we would have had game 6, or maybe we would have, but it wasn't going to be guaranteed. But game 6 is guaranteed, and I just needed to get to game 7, which I think it will, because I am hosting a Stanley Cup watch party if it gets to game 7. Not here, unfortunately. I don't have live streaming capabilities or really the knowledge to do any of that, but in my personal friend group, I am hosting one, hopefully. I'm only hosting if they get to game 7. I've also been kind of venturing and talking to more people on TikTok, which if you don't follow me on there, it's at HGLH Pod, and just talking to other Sharks fans and just people on Hockey Talk, all the other girlies. I mentioned that it can be intense or scary, like in my my last episode, and it can be. There are some very interesting fans on there, I'll say that, but for the most part it's really fun, and I've had a lot of positive experiences personally with people that I've talked to on TikTok, which is amazing. I was like really, I don't know, it's always anxious talking to people who are in the same community as you, because you're like don't want to come off, I don't know, you don't want to come off as being like a try hard, but everyone on there has been super, super sweet and supportive. If you've started watching my show because of TikTok, thank you so much. I tried to be as active on there as I can, like liking people's posts and stuff. I'm trying to get better on actually posting. I started doing my highlight reels again for my episodes. I did one for this past one. I think I did one for the one before that as well. My unpopular opinions, and then my player profile on the Kachucks. So slay. It's just, I don't know, getting back into the TikTok community has really made me want to create on that app more and like jump on trends, which I think 2 videos where I did like some kind of trending topic thing. One of them hockey related, one of them not super hockey related, but it's kind of like a get to know me kind of thing, which is really cute and fun and fresh, and I love that. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, I wasn't really talking about the Sharks, but I'll bring them up. I am so disappointed that Macklin did not win the Calder Trophy. Congrats to Lane Hudson. I think he had a really stellar year too on the Canadiens. But man, Calder Brini, I wanted Macklin. I really wanted Macklin to win. And I think he would have won. I think, don't kill me for saying this, but I think he would have won if he didn't miss those first couple of games. I don't know. It is what it is. And they both had, all 3 of them, Dustin Wolf, Lane Hudson, and Macklin, they all had stellar rookie years. And nothing else to say about that. It would have been cool if Dustin won because he is a goalie. And that's very interesting. That is, if I had to pick a position on a team, I would not pick goalie just because of the fear of I don't like people rushing at me. I also don't like people chasing me. So I also probably wouldn't want to be on the ice either. I'd be a really good bench warmer is what I feel my conclusion will be, is that I would be a very good bench warmer, or a coach. I could tell people what to do. I would have no trouble doing that. Sucks about Macklin, but he made the NHL All-Star rookie team, so sick on that. Love that. I think all 3 of the guys that were up at the Calder Trophy made the team, which is super cool. Huge honor. Obviously, the NHL All-Star rookie, like, come on, go off. Also, another thing I want to talk about, which is kind of hockey related, but kind of not. It's more so like book talk or hockey book talk related. I'm warming up to the cast that they did for the guys for the Off-Campus series that Amazon is producing. I was a little skeptical of, I'll be honest, everyone's really skeptical of Tucker, but I think give him a beard and dye his hair red, I think we might have something. And that, I was also like kind of skeptical on the guy who was playing Dean, just because I have a very specific image in my head of Dean, but I saw some photos from the actor's Instagram. I'm like, oh, man, he's Dean. Like, that is Dean. And so I'm getting more warmed up to it. I still know how I feel about the guy playing Logan. I, in my head, had, for some reason, when I would read the book, I'd have my own casting in my head for Logan being Nicholas Galitzine. Or Galitzine. I can't remember how you say his last name, but if you don't know him, he's a British actor. He was in Red, White, and Royal Blue. He played Prince Henry. Yeah, Prince Henry. He was also in Purple Heart on Netflix, and he was in Bottoms. He was also in The Idea of You, that he played Harry Styles pretty much in that one. I just think that if he was a little bit younger, would have killed it, like when he was going through his roles of when he was in Purple Heart or Cinderella or whatever. He would have been like the perfect fan cast, or perfect cast for it. But he right now is playing He-Man in the live action version of, I can't remember the franchise of action figures that He-Man is from. I'll look it up. I'll be like, of course that's the name of it. But he's playing He-Man right now. So he bulked up and then bleached his hair again, because he bleached his hair for playing Prince Henry in Red, White, and Royal Blue. But he bulked up, bleached his hair, grew it out, and he looks nothing like how I picture him in my head as John Logan. So maybe it's for the best that he wasn't cast as that. He's also, I feel, maybe a little bit too old to play a college hockey player. But yeah, so a third time I'm saying this, but I am warming up. I thought that Hannah was casted very, very well. I thought that Garrett was casted really, really well. I'm kind of confused why Justin is a musician and not a football player, but go off. If they take Bo out of the series, I am going to be extremely upset. And you will be hearing from me. But I don't think they would. I think he's a very integral piece to especially Dean's story, Dean and Allie, and then Sabrina and Tucker, because they are like, Sabrina was really close to Bo in the book series, and then Dean is really close to Bo, and I'm not going to spoil anything. It's like I didn't spoil anything in my Briar Universe episode, but oh my god, anyone if you've read the books, you know what I'm talking about. I want them to do that as tastefully as they did in the books, because actually I'm just going to leave it at that, because I really don't want to spoil it if you really do want to read the books, which I highly, highly recommend. And if you want just like a basic overview before you read the books, you can always go and watch my episode. It's like called like the Briar University Cinematic Universe, something like that episode. It's a couple episodes back, but I put a lot of thought and effort into that. So if you want to go watch it, I mean, it's up. You can go listen to it or watch it on YouTube, whatever. But I'm very excited nonetheless for the series. I know that they started filming in I believe they're filming in Canada, but I know they started filming, and I'm very, very excited, because that probably means it might be like summer of next year that it comes out. I don't know, because you have to give them time to film and then give them time to edit and then do promo and whatever. So I am extremely excited. If there's anything else that you guys know about that I haven't heard from any updates on like other plot points that have either changed or that are for sure going to be in the series, just let me know, like a comment, or you can message me on Instagram or TikTok. But I hope that for the most part they stay true to the books. It is going to be very interesting to see how they do like the really spicy scenes, especially in Dean and Allie's, because those are some kinky kids. Oh my gosh. Without giving too much away, I mean, Dean's nickname is literally Dean the Sex Machine, until he meets Allie, or he had met Allie before, but until he like starts dating Allie. So we'll see. That'll be very interesting. It's an Amazon one, so I'm hoping it'll probably be the same as like the tasteful, intimate scenes in like Red, White, and Royal Blue, or The Idea of You. So I don't know, we'll see. That will be very interesting to watch. I'll have to watch those scenes by myself. I'd be way too embarrassed to watch them like with other people. Oh, and also in Stanley Cup Finals news, two of my worlds collided yesterday, because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were at Game 4, because it was in Florida, and I'm pretty sure Travis is friends with Matthew Tkachuk, because him and Jason had Brady and Matthew on the New Heights podcast right after Four Nations, when that was all trending, with the 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. So I think he was there supporting them. Unfortunately, Florida did lose. Spoiler alert. I mean, you're knowing this by now. It's like already, by the time I upload this, Game 5 has already been played, and the day of uploading this, I'm pretty sure, is the day of Game 6. So I am going to be very intrigued to see how those 2 games play out. But yeah, my 2 worlds collided, which if you're watching this on YouTube, you can kind of see to my right, I have my big Taylor Swift poster from when I went to go see the movie, or the concert, movie, whatever, for the Eras tour, in theaters. They were giving away like free little posters, and I was like, sick, nice. And that was a really fun experience to go watch. But yeah, it was very interesting. I'm like, girl, don't you have like, I don't know, anything other important, like anything else important to go and watch? But it was really cool to see her there, in a arena other than a big football stadium. So I do know that there's, and I haven't seen any comments just personally, but I do know there's always going to be those people that are like, oh my god, she's ruining another sport. But you know how many times they panned to her during that entire Game 4? I'll wait for your guesses. Yeah, Yeah, I counted. They only panned to her like maybe like 3-4 times in a game that ended up going into overtime. So it was a pretty long game. And they really only showed her when there was not any active gameplay. Like when they were on a timeout, or when a period ended, or when they were just about to go to commercial break because they're going to Zamboni the ice. It's not that deep. She's not ruining another sport. She's literally just a girl going with her boyfriend to support her boyfriend's friend. Like, it's really not the end of the world that she's there. But I just know that there's probably some people out there that are, like I said, thinking, oh my gosh, she's ruining another sport, blah, blah, blah. Go up. There are like 1,000 other things you could be more upset about with the Stanley Cup Finals. Pick and choose which one. I actually had a really funny conversation with one of my coworkers, because he doesn't like Edmonton, but he also does not like Brad Marchand, which, if you don't know, he earlier this year was traded from the Boston Bruins to the Florida Panthers in a really out of left field trade, at least to me, and I feel like to a lot of Bruins fans as well. But I mean, it happened. And so I was like telling him, he told me about the whole, he's like, I don't want Edmonton to win, but I don't want Marchand to have any more bragging rights. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of who do you hate less, McDavid or Marchand? And you have to pick, like, not the lesser of two evils, but just which one you just like a little bit less than the other. And in my head, I'm choosing Panthers, obviously. I've said it before, and I've say it again. I'm rooting for them, except for last night. Last night I was rooting for the Oilers, but like I told my boyfriend, this is the first and last time I'm rooting for the Oilers in a game. And that's only because I want to throw my Game 7 party. My own selfish reasons. I'm not for the people in this situation. I normally am, but not in this one. I'm purely selfish reasons. Yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to talk about today. It's always, very fun to do like the episodes where I put in a bunch of research and, create like notes and kind of a baseline script. Those are always really fun because I know exactly like what I'm going to talk about and what's going to be the next thing I'm talking about, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also just really fun to just sit and just yap. That is one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, because I just wanted to sit and yap about hockey. And I'm very happy that I've given myself this platform to do so. And, whether you want to watch it or not, I honestly just do this for fun. I'm not really setting any expectations for myself. If people want to watch it, they want to watch it. If they don't, then they don't. I do think it is very funny that my most viewed episode, at least here on YouTube, is my ranking NHL teams to boost my serotonin levels. That is very funny. I want to say that it's just due to my great charisma and my camera presence, my voice presence, and just that I'm a funny, silly, goofy girl. But it might just be because I was kind of low-key spiraling in the beginning of that episode. Also, maybe just because of the title, which I knew what I was doing with that title, but it's true. I had to have fun, and I'm happy that everyone let me have fun because I really needed it at that time. But yeah, so that's what we have for today's episode. I have a couple of ideas. I'm going to do what I always do though, and put it to a poll. So if you want to vote on that for the next episode, it will be on my Instagram, which is at Sarah X Crake. Again, if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's at HGLHpod. If you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure to give the show a good rating. And I just want to say I love every single person who listens to me or watches me or just supports me. It really does mean the world. Just to know that, I have some kind of support, and I'm not, just talking to myself for no reason. Even though, like I said, the numbers don't really matter, but it is kind of nice knowing that there's people out there who do listen and, watch my video versions of these episodes. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.